story. It's an Ellen White story. I know you probably thought it's upside down, but it's really two stories in one. The story today is called Mr. Squirrel's Treasure. These are Ellen White stories, and they're very, very cute. Fall is one of the prettiest times of the year. Trees, especially those in the woods, look as if they're decorated for Christmas. Their leaves turn all colors of bright red, yellow, and orange. Sometimes the sun shines so bright on the trees, they look as if they're on fire. A long time ago, two sisters, Ellen and Sarah Harmon, played with their friends in the great woods. They lived in the state of Maine. Do you know where Maine is? Way up on the East Coast, the very top state on the East Coast before you get to Canada. The girls had a happy time in the woods. They skipped, laughed, ran, and shouted to each other. Sometimes they carried sacks with them because those sacks were for something special. Every once in a while, one of the girls would look down on the ground, shout to the others, and lean over to pick something up and put in their sack. What could you imagine it would be? They were searching for beech nuts, and oh, how good those nuts tasted when cracked open. I found more than you did, one of the girls shouted. I see some, another said, pointing, and off they would all run. Then suddenly, one of the girls stopped and shouted, "Look!" She saw a squirrel. "It's only a squirrel," the others laughed. "They're all over the place." But this one is different. "Why?" Sarah asked. "See what it has in its mouth?" What do you think it has? Picked up a nut, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Look here, look at the squirrel. It's got a nut in its mouth. How about that? A beech nut, one of the girls gasped. Where did he find it? I don't know, but I'm going to see what he does with it. Now everyone stopped to watch. Where is he going? I don't know. Let's just follow. And that's just what they did. There it goes, one of them shouted. Oh, look, another said, as they saw the squirrel run up a tree to a hole and drop the nut inside. It's hiding nuts in there. Let's go see. And what do you think they found when they looked in the hole? Why, that's a bunch of nuts, isn't it? That squirrel's been busy. Do you want to see? Look what the squirrel done. He put nuts in a hole in the tree. Can you imagine that? Nuts, lots of nuts, one of the girls said. Thanks, Mr. Squirrel. Then turning to the others, they said, let's fill our sack with them. No, don't do that, Ellen protested. That's the squirrel's food for winter. The others laughed as they emptied the hole in the squirrel's hard-earned treasure. Ellen just stood and watched. Poor squirrel, she thought. It worked so hard. What will it eat when winter comes? Then, with their bags filled with the squirrel's nuts, the girls ran for home. Afterwards, they made other trips to the woods for more nuts. Ellen went along every time, but as she did, she had a strange smile on her face. What do you think she's up to? She had a secret that no one else knew. not even her sister. Unnoticed, and after the others had stolen all the nuts they could find from the squirrels, Ellen did something surprising. She went up to each empty hole in the trees where the girls had been, and she slowly looked around, all around, to make sure if anybody was watching. Next, she dug way down into one of her pockets and pulled something out of it. It had a golden color. Reaching up into each hole, she filled them with handfuls of dried corn. Now, she thought, Mr. Squirrel, you won't go hungry when winter came. When Ellen grew up, she married and changed her name to Ellen White. And all the rest of her life, her thoughts were still on others and their special needs. She did this first before she took care of her own desires or wants. And she did it even if it was just for a little squirrel. Ellen dedicated the rest of her life to bringing joy, happiness, and the love of Jesus into the lives of everyone she met. Isn't that a nice story that we help our animal friends for their winter? Because that hole in the tree was his pantry. And that's how he ate in the winter when the snow was deep, especially in Maine. And Ellen had enough love in her heart to help that squirrel out for the winter. And thank you so much for listening to my story.